many ways, these solo landscape photography trips are a delicate balancing act. I want to be very productive and to walk away with some photos I'm very proud of. Yet, one of my goals leading into this trip was to take some time to soak in the scenery and to really get to know this new location. That's a difficult task when you're constantly pushing yourself to find new subjects and to record the entire process on video. It's important for me to build a connection with the environment, and much of this can be accomplished by slowing down and being a better witness to the world around me. This connection helps guide me as a photographer and gives my work a sense of direction. I have a tendency to push myself a bit too hard at times, and I wanted to avoid that on this trip. So I set aside much of day 5 to relax and to get more familiar with this new environment. The weather forecast called for abundant sunshine in the morning, followed by showers in the early afternoon, which made this the perfect morning to go for a quick paddle. There's something so rejuvenating about immersing myself in this new environment, especially in the warm morning sunlight, which felt so nice after nothing but rain for the past several days. As I'm paddling upstream here, figured I'd use this as an opportunity to talk a little bit more about this trip. So I learned from my winter trip that I'd do better if I break the trip up into 2 halves. So be in the field for 5 days or so, and go home, kind of get cleaned up, rest up a little bit, then head out again on the second half of the trip. So I booked the reservations for the Redwoods, I think it was like last November. So I've had these reservations for a while. And rain here is just fine. It's no big deal. It's actually quite nice. But originally I was actually planning on heading to Utah first on a little backpacking trip. And the forecast was rain every single day, and that would have been pretty bad. So the light's horrible. There's issues with being in canyons when things start to flood. And also the roads get pretty messy. So it just wouldn't have been a really good idea. So what I did is I kind of delayed that trip. I'm actually gonna go on that trip after I get back from this trip. Because rain in the Redwoods, that's nice. You get some nice elements to work with, but rain in Utah, not so good. So if any of you guys are, interested in going on the solo trips, you gotta kind of figure out what your limits are. And for me, it's about 5 days. Beyond that, I just kind of become blind to what's around me. So, but here we are, day 5. Enjoying a nice paddle here on the river, and I think that'll kind of re-energize me a little bit. And then after this, I head back to camp, grab some lunch, and probably go scout some groves and some of the other areas I haven't been to yet, and kind of see if I can find anything interesting out there. It's also really good that I shot that photo yesterday of the rocks, because they're all dry now, so they all kind of look gray. It's been a pretty cool trip so far. Some lunch and found another trail to hike here. And I really don't have anything in particular that I really want to shoot any scenes I've scouted so far. I've already kind of crossed all the stuff off the list that I found. But I figured it'd be important on my last day here to just kind of hit the trail and kind of get a better feel for the place. And I've noticed that a lot of times when I kind of stop and record some video, it kind of forces me to slow down a little bit and gives me a different perspective on things. And two of the scenes I photographed so far on this trip were ones where I didn't even notice them until I started doing some video, and then kind of saw what was hidden in plain sight. And I almost found another one of those scenes, but couldn't quite put a composition on it. Got pretty close though. I still may very well find something, but I think I'd be perfectly happy just going for a little walk and taking in the sights and the sounds. Definitely gonna come back next year. Well, it's been a really long day and I am back at camp now. Just kind of making myself some dinner here. And it was interesting because, I mean, I loaded some film earlier today and I figured, you know, maybe I'll find something to shoot, but kind of in the back of my mind, I knew I really wasn't gonna find anything to photograph today. I mean, it's not that there isn't anything to photograph. There's just tons of beautiful things I saw, but I just didn't really have the drive to take any photos. I just really wanted to just wander around and look at things and kind of take it all in, because as much as I love photography, and photography is, you know, one of the reasons I came here, it also in some ways kind of gets in the way of the process of just kind of getting to know an area. And when you always have that pressure in the back of your mind that I gotta find a photo, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, it could be a little bit draining at times. So I think today was in some ways kind of a reward for coming out here, just to wander around, to take it all in, and kind of take mental notes on certain areas and all that. And it's just so rejuvenating wandering through these forests and seeing these ancient trees and just all the life that surrounds the whole area. So this was a pretty good experience, and I definitely look forward to coming back next year and maybe exploring some different areas as well. And it'd be nice at some point to get some good thick fog to work with. I got a little bit, but it'd be good to get a lot of fog. But tomorrow morning I'm going to be heading back to San Diego. It's about a 14.5-hour drive, so I'm gonna get a really early start just to get home by about dinner time or so. And definitely looking forward to getting home, kind of get things dried out. And then a few days later I'll be heading out to southern Utah, at least I hope to be heading out to southern Utah, assuming the weather's pretty good, and then do that backpacking trip that I was originally intending to do last week. So if you never see those videos, it means the weather wasn't all that great, but hopefully the weather will be pretty good. But I want to thank everyone for watching, and we'll see you around next time. If you enjoy this ad-free and clickbait-free content and want to help me live my dream, a voluntary contribution of just $24 a year helps keep my gas tank full and my film freezer stocked. For more information on how to support me and my work, please visit the donation section of my website at benhorne.com/donate. I also have prints and my portfolio box set available on my website. You can find a direct link down below in the show notes. Thanks in advance for your support.